Beyrouthi from FS Securities. We are an education and information firm on the Gold Coast in Queensland, Australia. And every morning I go through what happened globally around the world and try to forecast what we may see today on our market and tonight in the overseas markets. We show you what is hot, what is not, what you should hold and what you should fold. And of course, if you have any particular feedback from this presentation, we would love to hear from you. Review it, share it, analyze it, and talk to us about any feedback you have. Overnight and from around the globe, we start with the Dow was up 0.6% after 2 days of declines, small declines here. The S&P 500 was up 0.7%, the Nasdaq up 1.1%. In Europe, the Stoxx 50 index, which comprises most major European markets, was down 0.8%. In London, the FTSE 100 index was down 0.8%. The DAX was down 0.6%. In Japan, the Nikkei index was down 0.2%. And in China, the Shanghai index was actually steady at 4,102. On our market yesterday, we were actually slightly up, just nearly 2 points higher, 5,944. We were much higher during the day in the morning, and then we closed only 2 points higher. And the futures are indicating that the market most likely will open 34 points higher at the start of trading. Gold 1,765 compared to yesterday. That's quite an increase overnight. And silver was trading at $18 per ounce. Copper was flat at 266 cents per pound. Brent oil was up 2.1%, and West Texas crude oil up 1.8%. Brent was trading at $43 this morning, and West Texas crude oil was trading at $40.50 US per barrel. Soybeans down 0.2%. The Australian dollar versus the US 69.1, that's a bit stronger this morning, will give you 61.4 euro cents, will give you 55.4 British pence and 106 New Zealand. And iron ore down 0.6% at 101.7 US per ton. Bitcoin, for those people who follow Bitcoin, 9,690 US, up 680 US dollars overnight. And that converts to approximately 13,990 Australian dollars, up 360 Australian dollars overnight. Looking at the chart, you can see here the weekly chart is bullish with all the indicators. However, on the daily chart for the Dow, we've got a lot of negative indicators, meaning bearish, so neutral overall. And for our Australian market, almost identical situations, bullish on the weekly and bearish on the daily, again neutral. Okay, by the way, those slides will be on the website in a very short time. The mechanical system that we've got, the weekly, that's done only once a week at the start of trading. We were actually saying the Dow is neutral, Nasdaq bullish, the S&P 500 neutral, and gold we said bullish. And this morning, of course, on the daily we can see quite a strong bullish on the market. Crude oil bullish for the aggressive and the very aggressive trader. And by the way, the investor, we rely on the monthly and the weekly charts. We need to have at least 5 indicators out of 8 to tell us whether we are bullish, bearish or neutral on the weekly, and then that has to be confirmed on the shorter time, which of course for the investor it is the weekly. For the trader, we start looking at the weekly and then we look for 5 indicators, and then that have to be confirmed by the daily. Well, the daily charts, this changes every day, of course, because we have indicators changing every day. And of course, the weekly stays the same, but the daily changes. And of course, those changes will appear here. So the Dow, neutral, hasn't changed. Nasdaq, bullish, hasn't changed. The S&P 500, slightly bullish. So we have a small for the very aggressive, of course, bullish, but neutral for the rest. Gold, very bullish for all the investors and traders. Silver, the same thing, bullish for all investors and traders. And for crude oil, West Texas crude oil, we are bullish for the conservative trader, aggressive trader, and very aggressive trader. And if you have any questions regarding those indicators, all you have to do is talk to us. The Australian dollars, interestingly, this morning was actually bearish. That's very strange because we've had quite an increase in the Australian dollar against the US. The euro, strong for the investor and bearish for the very aggressive trader. Okay, for our market, looking at the mechanical system, this morning we have bearish on BHP. That's what the indicators are saying to us. We were bearish on BHP for the last 2 trading days. So we can see here. And we were bearish on CIMIC, the Old Leighton Holdings, and that also was bearish the day before. Nicres Mines, we were bullish for the aggressive trader and very aggressive trader for the last several days. And this morning we have indicators telling us we are bullish across all investors and traders. QBE turned to be a bit more stronger. We were only bullish for the very aggressive, while today we are bullish for the very aggressive, for the aggressive and the conservative trader. TPG continues to be bullish. We've been bullish on TPG for a long time. Okay, and by the way, as a matter of interest, TPG was actually down 2%, 2.1%. And again, the indicators sometimes are lagging and some of them are leading. However, 5 out of 8 indicators are telling us here that we are bullish across all type of investors and traders. So we will ignore the 2% drop yesterday. Okay, West Farmers, we are bullish and we've been bullish for a number of days. And yesterday the market went up by 0.6%. Okay, in terms of volume, we like to look at volume. Yesterday on our market overall, 37% of all stocks were actually declined and only 25% were actually advanced. But the volume was lower. So that's a good sign as well. When we have more declines and the volume is down, so the sellers are not really bumping and jumping and throwing everything at the market, which is good. And by the way, the week so far, the last 5 days, this is not just Monday, that's the last 5 days, we have the advances greater than declines. Okay, I finish off by showing what we do on the radar. We scan the market and we try to find those stocks that had extra volume. Extra volume compared to the average. So the average 50-day moving average for Bellevue Gold, you can see here, the average volume per day over 50 days is 841. And guess what? Yesterday we had 6.4 million and the price went up by nearly 10%. Unfortunately, we cannot trade Bellevue Gold because it's not on the CMC trading platform. Had we traded Bellevue Gold on CFDs, we would have actually quadrupled our money over the last 2 weeks because it's been going up and up and up and up and up. On the downside, by the way, there is nothing on the top 50 here for today. If you look at for the mid cap, for the bearish, what we have here, Hansen Technology down 2.2%, 54% increase in the volume. Or any of these companies, if you have any interest in them, we don't know, we haven't done much research on them. They're not famous, but anyway, they're still, you know, market capitalization reasonable, below the billion, but still very high market capitalization. And any of those companies, Hansen, Navigator Global, if you look at the day before, Bellevue Gold, of course, appears. All of these companies did have only 1 day and did not perform 2 days in a row. Navigator Global was down 3.1% 2 days ago, and Navigator was down 0.8% with a slight increase in the volume. Okay, what we trade in CFDs, these are our trading. We've got 5 contracts on the Australian cash. We're making some money, and more money increasing today because ANZ went up. Flexi Group, by the way, we were down $220. It jumped up 22% this morning. So we've wiped out all that losses this morning. Okay, well, these are all our trades, and if you want to have any questions, all you have to do is ask. In terms of announcement, nothing to show here. Anyway, our disclaimer, everything we said for you today is actually for general advice only. There is risk in trading, and you need to understand your risk appetite before you trade. Talk to us or talk to your professional advisor before you trade. And if you have any questions, all you have to do is ask. These are my details. You can write to me at George@FS Securities. FS stands for full service. George@FS Securities, plural.com.au. My mobile number, if you're ringing from overseas, is 61, that's the country code. You don't need the 0. 61-411-259526. Ringing locally from Australia, you ring 0411-259526. Happy trading, and I hope you make some money today.